Hi everyone. Hi everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you guys are listening to me from. Please hit that like button as you guys come in. Please hit that like button as you come in. So, today I wanted to talk about quite a lot of things. So, we have a lot to get through today. I want to talk a little bit about Simon and Portia. I want to talk about Peter Thomas and Cynthia. I want to talk about Phaedra and Marcus and Angela, and also Porsha and Shamea. So we have a lot to get through, but please hit that like button so you guys, so other people can find this video and know that we are live. Please hit that like button. All right, let's get into it. So I'm going to share my screen and then I'm just going to take the story one after the other. All right, so let us start with Peter Thomas and then we'll work our way up. So let's start with this clip over here.
Having
Also, because of fair use policy, guys, I'm going to have to pause it at different times to talk. So bear with me on that. Okay, I probably should refresh it so it starts from the beginning. All right.
She was having a divorce with Cordell.
Yeah.
I had to talk Cordell into doing a scene with me and tell this story, this side. Because if you don't tell your side, whatever the fuck happened last is what everybody's going to see.
Okay, so he's sort of talking about how, if you guys remember when Portia was going through a divorce with her first husband, Cordell, he was basically saying like he was trying to get Cordell to be able to come on the show and film with him so that Cordell could tell his side of the story.
See, and that's what they're going to hold on to.
Yeah.
So, yeah, of course. There's a disparity there. And to me, the only reason why I came back and did the reunion when I did is because I wanted people to know why we didn't work.
So you wanted people to know why you didn't work. My thing is this, right? Like, I understand feeling like you need to tell your side of the story. I completely understand that. Sometimes in life you feel like, okay, you've been sort of put out in a certain way. But my thing is, the reason why it comes across as weird and it just feels like Peter is just doing too much is because Cynthia has always been so quiet. Cynthia has always protected him. Even when people ask her why did the marriage not work, Cynthia has always speaks so highly of Peter. Always. So I feel like I understand feeling like you need to come and say your side when you have a ex-husband or ex-partner that is bashing you. But the difference is like ain't nobody bashing you. So why do you feel like you need to come and correct or clean up a narrative that she didn't even put out about you? So that doesn't make any sense to me.
We didn't work because she didn't have my back.
She didn't have your back, but when people were talking about how allegedly you were dealing with certain people at bar one, she didn't have your back. Even the way she talks about this whole your tax issues, she talks about it in such a positive and she spins the narrative. That's not her having your back. I don't understand. If that's not having your back, I don't know what is.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I said that when I walked off to the reunion.
Yeah.
Like, if this nigga had my back, we would have been incredible.
Yeah, I feel like, nah, you're being delusional now because it's like if she had your back, you would have been incredible. I don't even know what that means, considering like she had even said nothing bad about you. She is always on the up and up about you, about a lot of things, and she absolutely doesn't have to. Yet she is always on the up and up about you. First of all, guys, hit that like button. The likes are not matching the amount of people in this live, so please hit that like button, everyone. Um, but yeah, back to what I'm saying. It just feels very much like Peter, like, why is this even a conversation? Like, how many years later, you guys are cool? As far as we know, every time Cynthia speaks on the issue when she's asked, she speaks very highly of you and her other husband, ex-husband rather. So it's like, I don't really understand why this needed to be said personally. It doesn't make sense to me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that was it for me. I get to have, and I built up my social media at that time where I'm talking to 1 million people. So it didn't care what Bravo was trying to edit. I would go on my social media immediately and tell them the real deal. They hated that shit. Remember when...
Now, I completely understand going on your social media to clear things up. If things are edited for you to look a certain way, absolutely do that. Your social media is there for you to put your truth out there. Completely get that. I just think like you saying she didn't really have your back when like certain people have said certain things about allegations, and there was a lot about you in the press. There was a lot about you, people saying that you allegedly cheating, people saying that you're allegedly messing with your workers and stuff. So if that's not having your back and not addressing it and not making it seem like there's any credence to what these people are saying, then sir, I don't know what having your back is. And I hate to know what that would mean like for you, because that sounds like you want a doormat. You want somebody who would just be like, oh, Peter, and running after you, and whatever it is that you say will go. That's not the reality. That's not how life works for most people. So I'm not surprised that did not happen in your case, in my opinion. But I don't think that has anything to do with Cynthia.
Porsha was having a divorce record.
Okay, so I've already watched that. Now, I want to read a little bit of the comments, because I'm like, sometimes when I be thinking something, I see the comments and the comments are just right there thinking the same thing. So someone says, when did he ever have her back? He tore her credit up. Okay. Another person said, sir, having your back means going through bankruptcy, jail, and affairs. Men really think they should be allowed to drag you through the dirt. Oh my goodness, this is it. It's like all of the things she did, doesn't that mean that she was having your back? But all of a sudden, it's like you want her to literally put up with all sorts of craziness and nonsense just in the name of having your back. There has to be a limit. That's the same way how men would say things like, oh, you don't have their backs, you don't have their backs. But when it comes to like, just you step out and see if they would have your back. Absolutely not. So it's just BS in my opinion. I think there was no need for him to, even if you're going to do this interview, there's no need for you to then make it seem like she did not have your back, because she definitely tried. A lot of people would have left you at the sign of trouble, but she didn't. Someone said she didn't have your back, but somehow you had your hands in her wallet. Okay. Still no accountability. This is unbelievable. Cynthia dodged a bullet. Absolutely. This is the thing. It's like you're dodging accountability. Like you can't even say you've reflected and you say, okay, this is where I should have done things differently in the relationship. This is how this. Instead, you're saying the marriage broke down because she didn't have your back. That is crazy, nasty work to me. I'm going to read one comment and we're going to move on. Ciao, and you were constantly spending her money, opening venues, and they were closed down without informing her of what was going on. Absolutely. Her money had your back. Ooh, okay. And then to top it off, you went to another state, opened a venue, and was cheating in the new spot. Oh, allegedly, honey. Allegedly. Okay, so let's move on from this. How do I go back? I promise you. Okay, can you see? I'm just being silly. No, actually, I just need to repress it and then... Sorry, guys. I be like that a little bit after I haven't been on live in a few days. It feels like I'm doing it for the first time ever. All right, let's talk about Simon Guobadia for a second. All right. First of all, shout out to the Bravo Shade Room, because I feel like you guys keep me together when I'm doing my lives, because I can just go over there and like see a lot of the things I want to talk about over there, which, is just very helpful. So I don't have to be jumping through different sources. So shout out to the Bravo Shade Room for you guys are doing some good work. Now, let's get back to Simon Guobadia, honey. So you guys remember he had a post recently talking about like, he's moved on and new beginnings. I knew that was not going to last for long. I knew it wasn't going to last for long. And I'm not surprised. The man is out here now trying to change things completely. So apparently, Simon is trying to sue Porsha for $500,000 over the ED post. He's seeking damages for harm to his reputation, alleged misconduct, emotional distress, humiliation, loss of business opportunities, and sponsorships. I'm just like, sir, first of all, what sponsorships, what opportunities did you lose? That's what I'm trying to figure out, because what opportunities did you have to begin with? These are questions, right? I'm not saying it as a fact. I'm just saying some questions. I'm putting some questions out there. And if you guys can answer it in the chat, let me know in the chat, because it's all confusing to me at the moment. What opportunities? What opportunities? What sponsorships? Okay. Now, I thought this tickled me a little bit when I read it, and so I want to read it to you guys. Porsha's lawyer says these posts simply provide information regarding a common condition, and the defendant even uses that is the bit that tickled me. The defendant even uses the hashtag men's health awareness to draw awareness to the information that may help some of the defendant's social media followers. In response, Williams demanded the suit be thrown out of court. A lawyer wrote, "None of Williams' posts refer to any particular individual, let alone Guobadia specifically." Guobadia says he believes he's entitled to punitive damages for Williams' alleged malicious conduct. Guobadia sued Williams 44 for defamation in November 2024 over a series of Instagram posts that she made. Here's the thing. If I'm not mistaken, and I know I'm not, wasn't Simon the one that was constantly posting on social media? He did not let her rest, was constantly posting on social media. When I say constantly, I mean constantly. He was continuously posting her on social media. I'm typing. Give me a second, guys. I'm literally putting this. Hey. But yeah, I'm literally putting this for y'all. Please hit that like button as you guys come in, please, and thank you. Okay. Now let's go back to what we're saying. So here's the thing. He was the one that was posting a lot of social media posts at the time. So my thing is like, yo, you were out here posting on social media, doing your thing. So why is it that now all of a sudden you're now trying to claim all of these things, like, oh, malicious conduct, oh, she posted about ED. How did you know it was about you? It could have been about anything else. The world didn't know it was about you until you, allegedly, until you decided to respond. Like, she posts a lot of things constantly in her stories, right? On her stories. Nobody sits down and thinks, ooh, she is referring to Simon Guobadia. Never. I've never seen anything she posted and thought, oh, Simon, unless like it's a clear response to something Simon has said, right? So my thing is like, it feels a little bit extreme, very extreme actually, for you to then decide, oh, actually, I'm going to sue her for this post that no one knew was about you. Like, it's very, very weird to me. And so apparently Guobadia, who split from Williams in 2024, claimed their relationship became contentious when she started making, this is hilarious to me. This is hilarious. Not the pot calling the kettle black, but I'm going to highlight it so you all can see it. Well, I don't know if you guys can see it when I highlight it. But anyways, Guobadia, who split from Williams in 2024, claimed their relationship became contentious when she started making negative, false, and misleading statements about him on social media, using an outsized platform to negatively influence public perception of him. This is the thing. She did not have to use nothing to get the public perception of you to the left. No, absolutely. She did not do nothing to negatively influence the public perception of you. Your actions did it. Your constant post about her did it. It almost even felt like harassment. All of the posts that you were allegedly, all of the posts that you were constantly doing about her felt excessive. So if anyone should be suing, It should be us for putting us through all of these public and, all these like negative posts that we constantly had to read. So it's very surprising that he's then saying, oh, she was the one doing this, da 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 da. And then you now say her outsized platform. Honey, she gave you a platform because when you got married to her, your followers skyrocketed, right? So you also have a large platform. So I'm just saying, what happened to you saying all those things on your platform about her and how that could impact on her and her platform as well? Anyway, Guobadia argued that Williams' posts were presented in a factual manner that implied he had ED and were intended to cast him in a negative and humiliating light. The businessman, who was recently deported, claimed he had suffered emotional distress and personal anguish due to Instagram posts made by his ex-wife. Now, he talks about the statements were false. He does not have ED, has never suffered from, or been diagnosed with this condition. By making these claims in a public forum, Williams ensured their immediate and widespread dissemination, amplifying the harm to Guobadia's credibility and social esteem. Williams cannot and should not be held liable for sharing information regarding a certain condition. So this is what her lawyer is saying. She should not be held liable for sharing information regarding a common condition that likely plagues many of Williams's social media followers. For this reason and the reasons detailed therein, his court could dismiss Guobadia's complaint. This court should dismiss Guobadia's complaint in its entirety. Now, my personal opinion is the court should dismiss it because I personally think it's ridiculous because it's like, she did not mention your name. And from what I remember, I may be wrong, but from what I remember, there was nothing insinuating that it was you. You weren't tagged in it by any chance. There was nothing where she ED could have been, I don't know, erode dysfunction. Like, like, oh, this person is trying to erode whatever. Like, it could be anything. How did you first even realize the ED post had anything to do with you is my question. That's what I would say if I was a judge. But, maybe lucky for Simon, I'm not a judge. Because I would just be like, please, where was it said? She did not mention your name. She did not insinuate that it was you. It seemed like a public service announcement. So my thing would be, so why do you think it's you? That would be my next question, right? And where did that come from? And for me, what I also find hilarious is him saying he lost business opportunities and sponsorships. Like, you guys, correct me if I'm wrong, but what sponsorship or business opportunities did Simon Guobadia have? Wait. Please name it in the chat. If you guys know the sponsorship and business opportunities that he had as a result of social media, please, I'm going to need you all to put it in the chat for me because I do not know anything. Someone said, Simon, go away from us with this. Absolutely. Like, please. How does ED stop business opportunities? Only if you're trying to sell Viagra, I would think. But I would think, someone said he ain't learned nothing in that detention center. She never said he had it. She never even mentioned his name, but he stuck his foot in the shoe and it definitely fitted. Okay. Simon, just take your L and go away already. You ain't getting a peach. Dang, we are tired of you. So someone wouldn't do business with him because he was accused of erectile dysfunction. His lawyer just be collecting checks. She ain't even mentioned that man. This is the thing. Keeping her in litigation to cause financial issues. Yep, this is what it feels like. Because it feels like, because I personally just don't understand why you are still pursuing this in court and not just decided to dismiss it, because it's ridiculous. She didn't mention your name. She didn't insinuate that it was you. It just feels like you want to continue to drag her on social media. You want to drag her using the court system because you probably can't continue to drag her without looking crazy on the socials. So now you want to drag her in court. That's what it feels like. And it's sad because like sometimes people that have a lot of money feel like, well, you're not going to like having to pay the lawyer's legal fees. So guess what I got to do? Just continue to drag it out for as long as I need to drag it out. And so that is what it feels like. Now, hello to those who have just come in. Please hit that like button. Thank you very much. Hit that like button as you come in. Okay, so I'm definitely here with like, just take the L. Like, it's okay, things happen, right? Like, I understand, well, I don't want to say I understand because, I'm not in the marriage, so I would never understand. But my thing is like, whatever happened in that relationship, I feel like it's happened. It is what it is. We don't know the ins and outs of what happened. You both know what happened, genuinely, right? And I just think it's going to be never ending if you continue to drag this out. Like, she won, she won. You signed, you signed. You, in your own opinion, you got targeted, you got targeted. Sorry. We move. Right? Like you said, this is a new beginning. So why is this ED business not something that you want to move on from? She didn't tag you. She didn't say nothing. If anything, you've now brought attention to it looking like you have ED because no one thought it was you to begin with. No one felt like the comment was about you. You made it into you. And that's the thing about dating people that are petty. If you're a woman and you're listening to this, my advice is this: always be careful about dating petty people. Be careful about dating petty ninjas, because these men, if things go left with you guys, they will drag you like Simon has been dragging Porsha. They will drag you through it. They will be petty. They will not let up. And you will end up being in court, dragging things out for years if you're not careful dating a petty man. So for me, when I notice pettiness, that mean streak where you're just like, I have to get my lick back, I'm just like, yeah, that ain't gonna work, because that is not conducive to any sort of relationship. And in all fairness, I feel like Porsha should not have even touched this man. Should not have touched him at all. Because think about it, the way he was dragging Fallon was going through it behind this man. Now, I'm not saying Fallon is innocent. Fallon was absolutely not innocent. But even at that, it was still too much, right? You could have put a statement out there saying, yes, you separated by reason of whatever. You can even say her infidelity. You wish everybody the best. That could have been it. But the fact that like you kept throwing jabs and jabs and jabs, And even on Porsha's show, he was talking about how he has like a moving truck ready. And I'm just like, yeah, all of that is showing signs that this person is a problem. So Porsha should not have messed with him. I really hope that the next person Porsha chooses to date or end up with, she takes her time. Because like, definitely with people like this, you really need to take your time so you can see all of the signs and know exactly what you're landing yourself in. Let's move on from them. I'm over it. Let's move on from them. Let's move on to some of the reunion tea, honey. So with this reunion, I have to be very, very careful about how I'm playing it. So I am going to be pausing. So I'm going to be pausing to play it regularly because I can't afford to get in trouble or copyrighted. So yeah. Even I feel like I really should avoid showing the image, but I'm not really sure how I'm supposed to do it without showing the image. So it's fine. I think this should be okay, but I just have to keep pausing it.
Well, why were you certain that it was Phaedra that sent this man to the group? Phaedra is wanted to secure her spot.
Okay, you guys know last week we talked about it a little bit, and I said I felt like it did not land very well. Now I don't know if it's going to land this time around, but to me, it really did not land well last time. So now it sounds like Angela is basically saying that Phaedra sets the whole thing up to secure the bag, to secure her spot on Real Housewives of Atlanta.
I don't have to secure my spot because, baby, I got a guaranteed contract.
Okay. Phaedra said, I don't gotta secure my spot. I got a guaranteed contract. I know that's right. Okay. She let it be known she got a guaranteed contract.
I kind of think it was secured. No.
Andy said, I kind of think it was secure. Like, okay, Andy. Yeah, Andy is not feeling this storyline either.
I don't.
Even Porsha looks confused. Like, what are we talking about? Porsha looks confused. Phaedra looks confused. This is why I feel like Phaedra is not guilty. Because I'm just like, the whole thing is so sloppy. And 9 out of 10, Phaedra doesn't even look guilty. She looks confused. She looks like, how did I get in it? Who said that? That's literally what is given. As opposed to like somebody who orchestrated something and then, do you know what I mean? Like if you orchestrated something, like your tells should be a little bit like, you should have some tells. This is really given like she genuinely looks confused, unless she is that good of an actor, which I guess she was on Traitor, so probably. But it's definitely given like being very like, she must either be genuinely confused or she's really that good of an actor. But I really think she's genuinely confused.
Porsha, what I found alarming about
So now I guess Angela wants Porsha on her side, because now she's saying, what I find alarming about you
is you are so eager to believe she's telling the truth.
Okay.
When she allowed you to carry a lie on another cast member.
Okay. I would say, Angela has a point, right? Like, why are you so sure that she's not lying now? Because she was lying and perpetrating a lie with the whole Candy situation. Sorry, guys, I just need to wear my glasses. I can see, but, to prevent like headaches, sometimes they always recommend I wear the glasses. Okay, I'm back. All right, let's go.
And so after everything you've been through with her, you said that you think I said that up.
Okay, so I hear it, and it's a valid question. So my thing though is this, right? I feel like those were completely different situations. Now, I do think like, yes, you can learn something from certain people's behaviors, but Marcus is not reliable, in my opinion. Marcus was talking about Junebug or whatever he said. My thing is like, if someone is out here in front of me talking about no Junebug, I would be like, and Godfather of Atlanta, I'd be like, what are you talking about? That is so crazy. That is so nasty, so rude. No, but seriously, that is so cringy. It's like, what are we saying? What are we saying and why? Like, what the heck is happening here? That's what I would be thinking personally.
Why would you say that?
When I said that, everybody's thinking this whole thing is so silly. Nothing about the guy and what he was saying looked real. The junior.
Okay. Fair enough. Nothing about what the guy said was real or sounded genuine. And that's exactly how I felt. Because it just felt very like the guy was like just so, I don't want to say, do you know what? Let me just say it. The guy was thirsty for camera time. That's what it looks like. The guy just wanted attention and was like, I'm going to get this attention however I can get it. That's what it felt like. In all honesty, if we're going to be honest and call a spade, that is what it felt like to me. So I hear it, but I'm with Porsha on this one. Junebug sounded like some BS to me.
The G-Bo, whoever he said, Junebug.
Junebug was to protect his sister.
Junebug was to protect whose sister? These are things I'm gonna need clarification, hun. Because, like, Junebug was to protect whose sister? Was that Marcus's sister? Like, that's what I want to know. Because, and how does that protect the sister? So is it the sister that got the information? I thought Marcus said he was, Charles walked into the restaurant. So, like, I'm trying to figure out. And you know what is so interesting? It's funny how We've all deflected from whether or not Charles was at the restaurant and what exactly was seen. And now we're talking about who sent him. Right? So it's like, okay, regardless of who sent him, was it true? Was it not true? These are the things I want to know, right? I know Angela sort of said Charles was not in the area. So I'm trying to figure out, okay, if Charles wasn't at the area or in that area at the time, why did Marcus feel like he needed to say that? He could have just come and said, allegedly, I heard Charles was stepping out, right? Why did he need to say that Charles came into his restaurant with somebody else? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, it's not adding up. It feels like maybe perhaps that happened, or Marcus is completely lying about it, right? But now it feels like we've shifted way far away from whether or not it actually happened. And now we've moved on to who sent him? Who sent him? Yeah, we want to know who sent him, but we do also want to know, Marcus, did you make it up? Did you in fact see Charles, regardless of who sent you? Right? Did you in fact see Charles? If Marcus can give a direct answer to this, yes or no will suffice. If Marcus can let us know, did you see Charles at a restaurant with another woman? Yes or no? If he says yes, then my question would be, when was this? Okay, so why did you feel like you needed to come and tell Angela? Okay, did anybody put you up to it? Yes or no? No, yes, yes. Who put you up to it? Okay, so why did you say it was Phaedra at some point and you then said it was Kelly at some point? Why did you keep switching who are the people? Right? These are the questions I would be asking. Right? So I'm just like, it just feels like we've missed all of that. We've missed the truth of like what exactly happened, when it happened. Hold on one second. Yes? I have to put you guys on mute. Now you're fine. Sorry about that, guys. So my thing is like, if you think about it in that way, right? It just feels like there's so many different things that Marcus is saying, and then Angela is alleging something. So I'm just like, I could have gone to school with anybody. Imagine someone is coming up to me and saying I set them up because I went to school, or they went to school with one of my brothers. I have a lot of brothers, same as Phaedra, right? So it's like, imagine someone then says like, oh, this person knows your brother, and like, what exactly does that prove?
His name is Junebug. Who is
Exactly. His name is Junebug. Like, what the heck does that mean? I'm even surprised that Angela even gave this clown airtime. Right? This guy literally said, oh, his name was like, does that even sound credible to you, Angela? And this is my thing. I think Angela is so wrapped up in her relationship with Charles and trying to make it seem like, yeah, she is loved at home. We don't care. If you don't mind being treated the way you're treated, we do not care, Angela. You do not need to prove nothing to us. Let it go. The fact that you let this man sit in front of you talking about no Junebug and you do not think he was playing in your face is ridiculous to me.
Junebug? Junebug!
Exactly. You see people laughing because people are like, what in the world? Even Kelly's out here laughing. I don't know what's up with Shamea. Porsha is out here kicking and laughing. Like, because nobody believes that ish. Everyone thinks it's a joke because it sounds like a joke. That's what I'm trying to figure out. That is so odd.
The issue was real, okay, and the person is real.
But he's lying in between trying to make it.
Exactly. And it's like, Angela is like a dog with a bone, right? because she already has this is how I feel, right? Because she already feels sensitive and insecure about her relationship with Charles, it's like any sly towards Charles, anything towards Charles, she feels like she has to defend, right? Without taking a step back to actually think about it. Does this man sound credible? This man said something about no June bug. The next thing, there's no June bug. Then there is like, what the hell? What the helly? What the hell? What the helly? That's literally what is given, Angela. Sorry.
Lie that he doesn't know Phaedra.
He doesn't know me.
Like the whole thing flatlined. Even look at Cynthia's face. Cynthia just looks like, Angela, what are you doing? You've had such a good season. Why ruin it? You're ruining it. Why ruin it with this nonsense? Seriously, why?
But he knows your brother, and you.
But he knows Angela, you're not slow. Just because, now here's the thing, that is not to say that Phaedra didn't do it. Let's be clear. I don't think Phaedra did it, but I'm just saying that's not to say Phaedra didn't do it. But these receipts are not receipting. If you're going to bring evidence that somebody did something, I'm going to need you to bring text messages between the person, okay? And the text message setting up the meet, text message setting up whatever, text message asking him to show up to the thing, verify to make sure the number is Phaedra. These are the kind of receipts we need, okay? What we don't need is you bringing us a PowerPoint or a folder with no receipts or with what you call receipts, but does not have receipts. Just because they went to the same school does not mean ish. Angela, I'm sure you have people you went to school with that you don't recognize. You don't have relationships with. They may follow you on socials, but they're not your friends. You don't know them like that. Right? Imagine someone then says, "Oh, Angela, you set this up." Won't you be like, "What the heck is going on here?"
No, Angela, why were you? Who's your brother? And you
just because someone knows this, I can't lie to you. This kind of made me feel like, Angela, honey, I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt, but this doesn't look good. It flatlined. It fell flat. It absolutely sucked. It sucked right? It really sucked.
knows your sister.
Just because someone knows
But
my
he
brother
doesn't
or
know
sister,
anybody else.
I don't know everybody my brother knows.
Thank you. I do not know every I can't even speak. I do not know everybody my brother knows. I do not know everybody my sister knows. Like, seriously. It's ridiculous to even think that that's the case. And it's like, Angela. And this is why you can't. Okay, Drew was about to catch a stray. I was going to say this is why you can't be friends with just Drew. You need to be friends with one of the OGs that can tell you that this is not going to land. I'm sure if you had a conversation with Cynthia, Cynthia would have told you this is not going to land. Or if you had a conversation with Porsha, Porsha would have told you, honey, this is going to flatline. Okay?
I think it would be kind of bogus for Angela to set something like this up about her own marriage.
Okay.
It's interesting Shamea says this, but then during interviews, it's giving the impression she feels like it was a scheme that was set up. Which is it, Shamea? This is the thing. It's like you can't even stand in your own ish. Stand on it. This is how you feel. This is your opinion. Stand on it.
Don't believe that you set up on yourself, right? What I'm saying was when it came to Phaedra, it just did not make sense.
Yep, it does not make sense. I will have to agree with Porsha on this one. It does not make sense. And the receipts are not receipting. And the reunion is the time to bring the receipts. So if you do not bring the receipts, that means you do not have receipts. You do not have credible receipts. So yes, I'm not surprised that this is now flatlining. And now everyone, or a lot of people, are now looking at you a little bit like shady, like what is going on?
Do you think Phaedra's motivation was?
Yeah.
She's a self-producer. Do you like?
It's interesting that Angela is saying she's a self-producer, but I beg to differ. I would say you, Angela, is a self-producer, in my opinion. That's what it's given, because it gives very performative. If we're really, really being honest. We
To
know,
move around
but this whole Marcus Gate is given performative.
on a narrative. Just like you know Charles, right?
Girl, I said I have hung out with Charles on numerous occasions.
Charles. Literally, the more I hear Charles, like, I'm like, girl, rest. Give it a rest. Charles ain't even defending himself like this, honey. Give it a rest. Charles does not even defend your marriage like this. Give it a rest. Charles does not ride for you like this. Give it a rest. Miss Angela, please. Please. So all of a sudden now you want to address her hanging out with Charles. This is the thing. I don't think she means like, oh, her and Charles were kicking it. I think she probably means like, you know how they're all like in the same, well, Angela would say they're not in the same circles, but they tend to, like, a lot of people in Atlanta know each other. Like Shamea was talking about being the best friend of Atlanta. You know, a lot of them know about each other, know of each other, even if they're not necessarily friends. So I think that is what it is. So it's not surprising that you would be at like an event that Charles is at 10 years ago, but it's given Angela is very pressed behind this whole Charles business. She needs to give it a rest.
You know him?
Back 10 years ago.
You know him. You met him before.
I have met Charles before.
Girl, Angela. She is not saying she knows that man like that. She's just talking about she knows him. But sis, Angela, don't stress me out over Charles.
You don't know my husband. He
Okay,
does not
no one
know
knows
you.
your husband.
Everything you said
Okay.
about me is a lie.
Okay. Phaedra, I'm gonna need you to go and have a look and see if you can find a picture of you on Charles and just shut her up once and for all, because it's given she is very insecure about her relationship with Charles, and it's like everybody's gonna hear it but Charles. It's like, we're tired. Okay, whatever. I'm even surprised that Phaedra had the energy to go back and forth with her. I would have been tired after a while. Like, girl, okay, whatever. Okay, cool. Sandra, hey Sandra. Exactly. Angela has lost all credibility. Exactly. Like, because I'm like, you're so eager to pin it on Phaedra, and that's what makes it worse, right? Because now it looks like a scheme that was set up to come to us with the BS. Because why Phaedra? Out of your own mouth, you said he also brought up other people. So why didn't it stick with other people, but you wanted it to stick with Phaedra? That's the question. That's the issue that we all have. That's the concern that we have. Because it's like, you're just like, okay, Phaedra is an easy target, so let's pin it on her. That's what it's given. And it's just not looking good, Angela, because you've had such a good season. It would have been nice if you had ended on a high note. But now it feels like you're leaving a bad taste in some of our mouths, really.
I have not said anything about you, darling, because no one knew about you.
But
Ooh, not Drew with a face. Like, no one knew about you. Okay.
the people that don't know about you.
Okay. Match point. Match point 1-1.
Let's start there.
Okay, well then
All
let's
your
start
faves
there.
know about me.
What faves are
Your
those?
faves. The rooms you want to be in that you're
Well, baby, I'm in all the rooms I
not
need
the
to
ones
be
I'm
in.
in.
Not the ones I'm in. Okay. 2. All right. So at the moment, 2 versus 1. Okay.
Honey.
Oh,
You're
okay,
not.
well then why does
You're
no
not.
one in any other rooms
You're
know you,
not.
sweetheart?
Oh, okay. 2-2.
I'm not in the rooms you're in. You're right. But the rooms I'm in, who's your brother? But the rooms I'm in, they don't know you.
I'm in the rooms where they're winning Oscars and Emmys, so you might want to get in those.
You're breaking.
Ooh, okay. All right, Phaedra. Phaedra said, I'm in the room where they're getting Oscars and Emmys, so you might want to get in those rooms. Okay. You know what's making it also funny, right? Is the fact that Angela feels heated. She looks heated. Normally, Angela has a relaxed, calm demeanor when she is checking the girlies. this time around, when she is trying to check Phaedra, she has a very heightened sort of energy. She has a very I don't want to say aggressive. She has a very confrontational energy towards Phaedra in this season right now. And Phaedra just looks like, girl, what are we doing? And that's why I feel like in this round it was 3-2.
Get into those rooms because you don't have tickets in those rooms.
I got tickets. And
Okay.
what did you hear about me?
I heard you're breaking into those rooms because you're
Breaking
not allowed.
So now she's breaking into the rooms. Even Andy's face is like, girl, please.
So now I'm a robber. Oh,
No,
okay, girl.
no, you're a liar. That's
Oh,
what you
okay.
are. You're a liar.
Oh.
Okay, that did not, for me, that did not land. She should have just left it there. There was no need for all of that. I personally feel like until I watch the whole thing, I wouldn't know who won. But from this interaction, it's given match point. Then it gives like Phaedra ended it with that Emmy comments. So now let's see what happens at the actual reunion once they give us the full clips. But for now, I guess we're gonna have to wait.
But the rooms I'm in, they don't know you.
I'm in the rooms where they're winning Oscars and Emmys. So you might want to get in those.
You're breaking.
Okay. You might want to get in those rooms. Okay. Now, all right. So you guys, let me know what y'all think. I personally feel like Angela, yeah, she wasn't very smart in the way in which she navigated the story. I feel like if you're going to say you're bringing receipts, I expect proper receipts. These receipts fell flat. It's like when Drew decided to bring the dog bone. Yes, absolutely fell flat. Extremely performative. We do not like that. We do not like that at all. Well, at least I would say I do not like that at all. Okay. Now let's move on to the next clip they gave us.
Well, can I use your...
This is when Porsha, oh, sorry, not Porsha, Phaedra decided to call her brother to verify his connection with Marcus and his sister.
phone? Yeah, give me the proof because I want to call my brother.
So for some people who may be saying, oh, why doesn't Phaedra have her phone? Sometimes they don't really carry the phones, right? Like they're dressed a certain way. They may not always have their phones with them on set. So her asking for a phone doesn't mean anything, in my opinion.
Andy, but can you please give me... I want to just call my brother. I don't have my phone, but I'm going to use it.
Is he going to pick up?
Because my thing is like, and here's the thing. I know some people will be like, oh, why does she know her number often? Phaedra is of a particular age, honey. Let's be clear. You are taught, you know, to know your family members' numbers. I know my mom's number by heart, right? Well, I knew my dad's number by heart, but he's changed his number, so I don't know his new number by heart. I know certain people's numbers by heart, and I'm not very good with numbers, right? So I remember when my phone got stolen and I was able to just get like a random person on the street to be like, yo, please, this was when I was at uni. I was like, can I please use your phone? And then they gave me the phone and I was able to call a number. So I feel like, yes, there are some of us who actually try to learn certain numbers by heart for safety reasons, because if something happens, you want to be able to at least call a family member. Even if it's just one family member, I would encourage you, know at least your emergency contacts number by heart. That's just my opinion. But anyway.
Yeah, you will.
I need water.
Champagne for me. Speak for yourself.
Oh, Kelly, please shut up.
Hello?
Hey, Jacques, it's Phaedra.
Hey.
So we're at reunion. I'm good. We're at reunion.
Right. Okay.
And you're being recorded. You're on speakerphone.
Okay.
So
I love how she lets him know you're being recorded, you're on speakerphone. That's what I would do also. If like I called a friend, I had to put them on speakerphone. You gotta, even when I'm in a car with somebody, right? Let's say I'm driving somewhere and someone calls me on and I have to answer by my, like, with my CarPlay or whatever, girl, I be saying like, oh, hi, just so you know, there's somebody here, you're on this, so that everything you say, honey, we can all hear you. Okay? So anything you say can and will be used. So just make sure you know that we all can hear what you're saying. So I appreciate Phaedra saying that.
It has come up about this whole person who accused Angela's husband of having an affair. She says the reason I know him and paid him is because you went to school with some woman named Kim. That's leading.
Okay. Sorry, I had to close my glasses box.
Do you know Kim?
She's a Facebook girl.
I never even heard of Kim.
It's a Facebook friend.
What their
Facebook friend is even worse, Angela. I even thought you had concrete evidence that they were friends. For goodness sakes. Facebook friends is worse. Remember back then where, like, Facebook was kind of like new and people were like always following you and adding you, and it became a really new thing, and people were always like not following you, I think adding you as a friend, and you didn't know all the people that will add you as a friend, but then you accept the people that add you as a friend, right? And then sometimes you're like, oh, they look connected to somebody I went to school with, or somebody you're like, all right, cool, accept. And then sometimes you just accept everyone and just be like, whatever, man. So it does not mean ish. Seriously.
Facebook friends?
She said you're a Facebook friend and she's from Athens.
Friends with 1,000,001 people.
Exactly. I'm Facebook friends with 1,000,001 people. Absolutely. It got to a point where I didn't even have space for friends anymore. They started asking the people to follow me on Facebook. So I'm just like, these things happen. Seriously.
So that don't mean anything.
She said
Exactly. That does not mean anything. Look at Angela's face. It's like, girl, do you know something that we don't? This is some BS.
y'all went to high school together.
I don't know her.
It's okay.
I can't lie to y'all. I believe Phaedra. I feel like Phaedra, the fact that she feels like she has to really clear her name, I really feel like she's telling the truth. I feel like she called her brother, and even from the brother sounds confused, like, what the hell? Like, what?
Hey, that's your brother. Just like you sent someone up to me to say, I'm who has the hands.
Thank you, Jock.
Well,
What are you talking about?
What are you
Exactly. This is the thing. It feels like then after that, Angela is like, oh, let me add a little bit extra to see what sticks. This is appalling. This is outrageous. It's like, Angela, you need to stop, because this is only making it worse for you. It is not landing. My goodness. It is not landing. Please.
talking about the hands?
Oh, yeah. What, can I use your phone?
About the hands.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. We were at the Hogs game, and this young lady who was with Phaedra walked up to me and said, hey, I'm the one with hands.
Okay. So if you feel like I'm the one with hands, why didn't you say it to Phaedra right then and there? Like, yo, why is your friend coming up to me talking about I'm the one with hands? That is so outrageous. Da, 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 da. You could have said that. You said nothing. Now, also, even in the conversation, you didn't even bring it up. So it feels like you're just adding whatever. It's like you're throwing BS at the wall, trying to figure out what will stick. That is the issue that the people have, in my opinion. It's given, throw everything, throw dots. Let's see which one sticks.
What?
What does that mean with hands?
It was
You trying to say I had someone come threaten you? That's a threat.
Right. That is, you're taking it too far. Even Kelly is looking like, bro, I do not believe this BS. It really is given, I do not believe this BS. And I do not blame, because I do not believe the BS too. It really is given BS. Oh, my goodness.
It happened.
Why didn't you mention that, Angela?
Why would I?
Thank you. Why didn't you mention it? That would have been the perfect time.
Why would you? I don't move like that, Phaedra. Check the people in your circle. Said I got hands to her.
This is the first time I've ever heard this. He says she's the godfather. He putting hits out on people to come threaten you with hands.
Like, this is a joke. It doesn't add up. Now you're saying that she sent somebody, or her friend that she was with said she got hands. Like, okay, Porsha and Phaedra didn't hear it. Why didn't you raise it? Like, Phaedra, why is your friend telling me she has hands? You could have said it. You could have been done with it. Now it just looks like you're trying to throw dirt and lie on Phaedra. It doesn't look good.
Drew, you were at the interrogation. Do you believe it was Phaedra?
Well, I mean, he seemed really scared. Oh my God. He was afraid to come forward.
So because he seemed really scared, it had to be Phaedra. That is crazy. Like, you guys don't need to like that woman. And I understand if you guys do not like her. But it's like, seriously, to then make it seem that, oh, you know, he was really scared. So scared of who? Why would it be scared of Phaedra versus any other person on this cast?
And even reveal, you know, that she paid him to bring this story forth. So that is I don't know him. I don't know where he came.
Phaedra, normally when she's lying, she kind of like avoids it. This one, she's literally outrightly saying, I didn't pay that man. When, if she truly paid that man, there would be a paper trail. Guys, paper trail. Bank statements. Something. Cash app. Whatever, showing that this man was paid. Imagine her saying with clarity, I didn't pay that man. That is very clear. That is not beating about the bush. That woman is clear, honey. She said she did not pay that man. Normally, if Phaedra is lying, she deflects, she avoids the question, she doesn't give a clear answer. This woman has been given a clear answer on this issue right here.
Came from, but she has hands, and so they reach very far.
Yeah, if you guys could see my face, you would just be like, yeah, this girl is fed up. Because I can't believe that this is really dragged on like this. This is nonsense.
Cynthia, do you think Phaedra was behind it?
Okay, first of all, if Angela set this up, it will be the biggest heist of all time. Because
Cynthia, answer a direct question, please. Don't annoy me. I love you, girl, but no. Answer a direct question. Even if you want to add that Cynthia did, you know, but answer a direct question. I like when people answer a direct question, then you can expound on whatever it is you want to expound upon. Okay?
still don't know who actually did it.
Okay.
Like, for me,
about the hand.
Like, for me, I was just trying to make sense. Like, what is the why? Well, you just said she was trying to secure a spot.
She already has a spot.
I thought that spot was very secure.
Oh, that is crazy. That's just crazy.
Kelly, who do you think did it?
Honestly, I really don't know. At first, I really thought that it was.
Well,
Brett.
she said it was you.
So this is where Angela even makes it worse. And I'm like, girl, you should have kept that one in the drafts. There was no reason for you to come out and say that, because that even makes it worse. Oh.
She said, check the person who wants the gas.
Right. So now Angela is saying, oh, initially you said it was you. So girl, so is it Phaedra or is it Kelly? Miss Angela.
Well, it's definitely not me.
Obviously, there was some master list.
So you admit somebody put him there, though. That's what she's saying. Somebody put him
Girl,
there.
stop trying to put words in my mouth.
And you told me all this information about
What
him.
information did I
You gave
tell
me his name.
Because he introduced himself, Angela.
Bruh. Angela. This is wrong road. Wrong road, Angela. That is what it's given, guys. Angela, wrong road.
How do I know you, Mark? I don't think you know me, but I know your husband. He gave me when he worked and his name. Okay. I want to move on because I don't think we're going to solve this today. So where do you stand with all the ladies in the group, Angela? I feel like there's still more issues that need to be ironed out. But I feel like we can move forward as a group. Very good. Like for me,
Yeah, nah, I honestly don't. Yep. Someone said, I honestly believe Phaedra. She usually gets quiet when she's guilty. Absolutely. Now she's out here defending herself, pulling her brother. She is definitely clarifying. I don't believe she is guilty of this one. As an RHOA Day 1 fan, the support for Phaedra is crazy. The woman lied on camera, jeopardizing someone's freedom, and you all don't believe she's lying about this. Guys, just because somebody has lied in the past, they have all lied, right? Now, Phaedra's lie, whatever, has been the worst. Absolutely agree. But that doesn't mean that she is the one that did the same thing. You guys would do the same thing that you're accusing her of doing. By saying it is Phaedra when there is no concrete evidence, is you doing the same thing that Phaedra did. Guys, it's doing the same thing. This evidence fell flat. He first said it's Kelly. Then now he's saying it's like, seriously, that should tell you that person is not to be trusted. So until he provides proof, evidence that shows without a reasonable doubt, let's make it criminal, honey. Or let's even say, let's give the civil on the balance of probabilities, right? That Phaedra is the one, I'm not going to hold that Phaedra is the one in my, that's just where I stand. Someone said, I have so many Facebook friends that went to high school and college with, and I've never had a conversation with. Yep, sis, this is me too. Angela is tired. She's deflecting from the fact that her husband embarrassed her the whole season. Agreed. Please worry about that man child. She absolutely thinks she's bigger than the program. Okay. And I think to an extent, I agree with a lot of the things this person is saying. Like, there are a lot of Facebook friends. Like I said, there was a time where everyone was adding everybody. So we had all sorts of people. I hope that's me getting a book in. So, there's all sorts of people. Nope. It's not money. It's a bill. Not me thinking I got a booking for something, but it's a bill. I heard a little buzz sound. And that's usually the sound I hear when I have new bookings. But anyway, back to this, right? So exactly, I feel like you can have a lot of Facebook friends. You may not know these people. You may have gone to school with them, but you don't know them like that. So imagine somebody is then saying that, oh no, this person, you set it up. Like, please, I do not know this person from a canopy. We may have gone to school together, but I do not know the person. Someone said Angela just ruined the great first season she had with this BS. I agree. Angela and Drew made this BS up. It seems very likely. Angela is to be watched very closely. She will do anything to be relevant and secure her spot. And this just shows that I'm inclined to agree. Because it's like the reason that you are so pressed to pin it on Phaedra is what is alarming. If you even said, I think that it may be Phaedra because that's what he said, but I don't know, because that's different from the way she's coming so strongly that it is Phaedra. That's a problem. Knowing fully well that this man also said it was Kelly, that is where I can't rock with her. You all don't want to clock it, but Drew and Angela is behind this whole mess, allegedly. No proof, no nothing, just allegations on Facebook friends, period. I'm going to like this one because that is exactly right. Girl, people are friends with people on social media. They live in the city I never met before. Yep. I'm exhausted with this. Me too. I want everybody who accused my girl to apologize. I know her past isn't the best, but people can change, especially when she's been benched all the time. There was no motive here. Angela was trying to secure a spot by coming for Phaedra. Case closed. Angela is so dry and unnecessary. Don't nobody want Charles. Okay? Nobody wants Charles but you. Let's see. Love drunk. Hey, girl. Angela is a liar. She is trying to cover for a potential scandal with her husband, in my opinion. Phaedra seems so confused by all of this. Absolutely. I don't know if you've heard the replay or if you started listening from the start. literally what you said is what I've been trying to explain, because I feel like everybody has focused on the fact that Phaedra is not the one that brought Marcus, or Phaedra is the one that brought Marcus, and everybody has forgotten about Charles allegedly. At least the allegation from Marcus is that Charles was with another woman at his restaurant. Everybody has forgotten about that. Instead, we're all focusing on Marcus Gate. Who sent Marcus? Who sent Marcus? Okay, besides whoever sent Marcus, can we talk about this? Right? Did he cheat? Did he not? Those are the things I feel like we need to really be focused on. Like, stay focused, people. Like, yes, we'll talk about who sent him. Okay, sure. But then, is this a deflection? And it absolutely feels like a deflection, because now all we're talking about is Phaedra. Phaedra and Phaedra being part of the BS, allegedly, right? Instead of like maybe other things. Maybe Phaedra is innocent, you know? So those are the issues. But yeah, completely agree with you, Love Drunk. Okay, so let's move on. Let me see. I think that's all the comments. Let's move on to the latest one here.
Mispronounced.
Let me pause it for a second. It's funny. When I watched this clip, I was like, you guys, a lot of people really has like dragged Porsha left, right, center, called her a bad friend. She's terrible. And I remember when earlier in the season, when a lot of people were calling out Porsha, yes, I called out Porsha for certain things, but when it came to the relationship between her and Shamea, I called out Shamea even a lot more than I called out Porsha, because I was seeing some underhanded things that she was doing. There were even times where I got some people like vexed and unfollowing me or unsubscribing because of that. I'm like, girl, please, please. We don't have to have the same opinions. We can agree to disagree respectfully. You can have your views. I can have my views, as long as we keep it respectful, right? So, but anyway, so we're going to play this and we're going to break it down. Like I said, I'm going to have to keep pausing for fair use policy. I don't want to get copyrighted by Bravo. They don't be playing. Okay.
On Twitter said, Porsha, why is it so easy for you to be that cool with Phaedra? She put you in a bad position, lied on your best friend. Where's the grace with Shamea?
The problem with Shamea, I will answer this question before Porsha answers. The problem with Shamea is you guys have conversations, you guys resolve things. In Shamea's mind, it is not resolved. And instead of her saying that it's not resolved, she doesn't say that it's not resolved. Then she moves on to a third party to complain about you and talk about the fact that it's not resolved. And we are back to square one again. Okay, so that's just it. That is the issue.
So time is in between. And after those years, there was a conversation. Then we got back to this place. That's not to say that that can't happen with Shamea.
Kente.
Yep. But the thing with Shamea, sister, I'm going to be careful if I were you, Porsha, because Shamea is dangerous, in my opinion. And I don't know who advised her. Maybe it's Candy. Maybe it's not. I don't know who advised her that this was the right approach to take to come on the show like this. It's not landing well, because now you're actually the villain of this season. And you know what's weird is like people hated Porsha this season. But the fact that towards the end of the season, with all of Porsha's shenanigans, a lot of us are on her side when it comes to you versus her. And it's like, girl, how? How is it that Porsha that barely had a storyline, that was out here forcing and dragging the whole Drew thing, is the same person? Right? Just think about it for a second. Is the same person that people are like, yeah, but Shamea is this, da, 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 da. So everybody sees that Shamea is a problem. Right? And so now it's like, girl, those are completely different scenarios. And I hope Porsha clarified that if you have somebody you're talking to and then they say they're cool with something, then they are dragging you to other people, that would not be okay.
From St. Petersburg, Florida, said Shamea.
Remember that.
You
But
do
what I'm
remember
saying is
Do you think Porsha gave Phaedra a pass too easily, considering that she sat back while Phaedra tried to make you look like community property?
One thing I do want to say about the ladies is their skin looks so smooth. I'm gonna need them to hook a sister up, because I'm like, my skin does not look as smooth. I need you all to help me fix it.
People say Shamea sleep with everybody's husband, but who talking about that?
Well, word on the streets. Allegedly. Isn't that what Britt also said?
Did you ever sit and resolve this, because you still seem bothered?
I've never.
You see, you hear that. You still seem bothered. That's the thing. Shamea always comes across as bothered, even after things have been addressed. So it's like, if it's been addressed and we've moved on, why are you still so bothered about it? Because you haven't fully let it go. You haven't fully addressed it. That's why. So it's like, fix that.
Ever sat down with the both of them.
Well, no,
and
with
there
me,
was never
I'm
no
your best
conflict.
friend.
She's like, with me, I'm your best friend. Exactly. It's like, you're, Shamea.
Talk to me.
You did
And we
with
had
Porsha.
resolved.
She said, talk to me. And we have resolved. Exactly. So it's like they had resolved it, yet this woman still went to whoever cared to listen, the newbies, and dragged her friend. That's a problem.
Let's just clear this up, because it was hurtful to me when I heard you keep bringing it up in interviews.
I can understand that, because the thing about it is, like, you know, when you squash something with somebody, right? Or when you think you squash something with somebody, you have a conversation, you think you guys are good, and then you listen to an interview and you see that they're bringing it up, and you're like, bro, we are cool. Why are you still bringing it up? Like, what the hell? What is going on? And I think that is definitely what is happening here. It feels very much like Shamea has the conversation. Shamea decides what she wants to do. She gets around other people and she starts kicking at your expense. That is absolutely what it's given, because that's the only explanation to me. I may be wrong, but that is the only explanation, because I do not understand how you're going to like drag that. I just don't get it. It doesn't make sense at all. Absolutely doesn't.
Because we're on a good page. Now,
Exactly. You're on a good page. I remember I listened to interviews. I was like, so are you guys cool? Are you guys not cool? Like, what's going on?
now we are. And when I decided to come back to the show, do you remember the whole conversation?
Yes.
Exactly. So they had a whole conversation when Phaedra was coming back on the show. They had a whole conversation about it. They whole squashed it. If you guys even remember, I felt like they were all even hanging out together.
I do remember that.
You
But
do
what I'm
remember
saying is,
Mispronounced.
dismissed it, and you said me and Candy were going through something that like you never addressed me and the things that were said about me first.
So why didn't you say anything? This is my problem. If somebody calls you to squash things and they have a 1 hour conversation or whatever, even if it's 30 minutes, I don't care. They have a conversation with you about something and you guys are having conversations back and forth or whatever. Why can't you, right? Why can't you say, oh, I feel this way about this. I feel this way about that. Why did I get involved? Even if you say you and Candy were going through something, why was I collateral damage? Where did you get that information from? You could have said that. You didn't. You kept quiet and acted like you guys were cool and you had kicked and it was fine, only for you to then bring it up. And that's why it gives like you want storylines. It gives like you want to be relevant. It gives like you go into these interviews and you just want to be salacious so that people can be talking about something. So you start adding things that you don't need to be adding.
Why didn't you address it? We were having a private conversation. We talked for a while. I said, I'm coming back.
But bottom line, we've never had a conversation about the allegations that were put out there about me.
And are you
Girl, after this wore me out. I need to go get me some ice cream after this because Shamea is stressing me out. You guys had a long conversation. That was the perfect time to raise the allegations that came up about you. Why didn't you raise it up then? People like to say Shamea is scared of Porsha. Okay, is she scared of Phaedra too? Why couldn't she have the conversations then? Like, you guys keep giving this grown woman a pass, and it's actually quite frustrating. She's old enough to be able to address issues that she has. She's old enough to be able to address any concerns. So it's not okay for her to keep quiet whilst Phaedra is addressing the whole thing and making sure she's cool. You don't say anything. And then you move on to then say, well, we never really publicly addressed the allegations. Like, honey, say say it. Love Drunk is saying I didn't see this part of the reunion already aired. Not yet. It's they gave us some sneak peeks. So I'm just like going through it and we're talking about it. But yeah, no, it hasn't aired yet, but it will air in the next episode that comes out. Ooh, not me yawning. Oh, I am tired already and it doesn't make sense. It's the whole Shamea thing. Shamea got me stressed.
Still upset about that?
No, I mean, I've moved on because, I mean, it is what it is. Like, when you...
How can you say you have moved on when you go to interviews and talk about it? Like, Shamea is very exhausting. And now I can understand if Porsha did not want her on the show. If truly Porsha didn't want her on the show, I can understand it because she's exhausting. Imagine that's your friend that you have to deal with every single day, and then now you got to deal with her at work as well. Like, girl, please. And I would need a break from you.
Oh, you're nodding.
She brought it up at Pampered by Porsha. Yeah. She's still upset about it.
Exactly. She brought it up at Pampered by Porsha, so you're still upset about it. Oh, people like this. They will never, ever, nothing will ever get resolved. And it's like every time, you know, when you go to counseling and the counselor says one issue at a time and don't bring up anything that has been resolved in the past, they need to tell Shamea this, because any issue that has been brought up, that has been addressed, that has been dealt with in the past, Shamea will bring it up. Yes, again. She cannot help herself. She will bring it up. I think that much we have seen, that much we have learned. Okay?
Thank you, Cynthia.
Remember that.
You do? Exactly. Like, even Porsha just looks fed up. And I don't blame her. I really hope Shamea does not come back next season. At this point, because initially I really wanted her, like, but now I'm like, girl, you're exhausting. I'm tired. Like, if you're gonna come back next season, please come back. Come back differently, please. Come back differently, please.
What I'm saying is you dismissed it and you...
Now let's read the comments, because I know for a fact that you guys probably feel the same way I feel, because I'm tired of Shamea at this point. For y'all bashing Porsha, saying she wasn't a good friend, I was jealous of Shamea, you owe an apology. Andu. Only thing I can say is if you publicly bashed me, publicly apologize. So I'm with Shamea a little bit. She probably wanted it to be brought up on camera. Then say that. Say that. Like, you're not a child. Let me see what the comments and replies are saying. Okay. I mean, Shamea also being nasty about Phaedra. That's why Phaedra jabbed back at her. Shamea should have stayed out of Candy and Phaedra's issue in the first place, since she wants to be Candy's lapdog and fight her battles. On that actual season, it was a battle of the besties period. Shamea and Porsha were rocky because Phaedra was cool with Porsha and Shamea was working with Candy. So I feel like it caused them to all be rocky, and Shamea wasn't feeling their relationship, but was proven right when Phaedra was the one who leaked that dungeon-ish. Nobody has ever been right since. They're all hanging, but really mad at each other for real. I mean, the whole season was Candy, Todd, and her crew was slinging dirt at Phaedra, so we're not going to act like their hands were clean, because they also lied on Phaedra, accusing her of helping Apollo do fraud. Wow, we forgot about that. And she called the feds on them from hiding Apollo stuff. So you all want to acknowledge what Phaedra said, because Candy, as usual, cried and played victim. And Shamea was in on calling names, so no need pointing fingers. I'm tired. Let's move on from that. Didn't Phaedra and Shamea both make accusations about each other during that season? Why is she trying to act innocent? Yep. Shamea had the viewers fooled, but not me. I could see right through her antics and messiness. Me too. She likes to throw the rock and hide her hands, but wants the world to think Porsha is the problem and isn't a good friend. But yeah, Porsha stayed quiet not once. Did she bring all this back on camera from 10 years ago? Yes, ma'am. Baby, at this point, anything that got to do with Phaedra, Angela got something to say. It's giving fan at this point. So Shamea is that one who holds grudges, smile in your face like everything is cool, but talk ish behind your back to whoever listens. Got it? You should just go back to being a +1 next season. Yep. Shamea was supposed to be Porsha's good friend, but was sitting over there in Candyland letting them bash Porsha. How did they become so close when Candy and Porsha fell out? My best friend would never. I bet Phaedra and Porsha knows exactly where that rumor started to, just keeping it on the hush, probably. She was saying saving her issues with them for the camera so she could have a storyline because she knew the viewers didn't forget and would automatically assume her as the victim. By Shamea. You see, majority of the comments that I've read are people calling out Shamea. She went from fan favorite to the clown, the flop. That is crazy considering Phaedra coming back on the season and like her not really having storyline was a flop, right? Despite that, Shamea is the bigger flop now because of all this business. How do you go from fan favorite to the fans can't even stand you? Well, dang, why are they talking about stuff that they pushed under the rug and ignored during the season? I can't believe this. This is the first reunion that I ever skipped for Ari Toure. Everyone talking about Porsha's return. Shamea's, ooh, this person say what I just said. Everybody talking about Porsha's return. Shamea's debut was a flop. She ain't said none all season, talking in circles, saying this ain't happened when it did. Girl, what is your issue? Okay. Shamea thought the sympathy role was going to work with her like candy. Yep. You gave this woman first seat. She hasn't even been able to own a whole scene this season. And this is what you gave the people to work with. Snooze fest. Wow. Another person said, I like Shamea as a friend of the show, if I'm being honest. So in all of the comments, if I'm not mistaken, only one person saw it for Shamea. The rest were like, nah. People are calling her out. And I think that is where things are at now with the whole Shamea business. Shamea started as a fan favorite. Now that has regressed so badly that people are now liking Porsha again. That is crazy. It's like, how do you fumble the bag like that? Honey, get it together. Please and thank you. Anyways, guys, my throat hurts. I am tired. I need to rest my voice. But it's been a pleasure hanging with you guys. I hope you guys have like nice plans for the weekend. For me, I feel like I need to go eat some grilled meat or something, barbecue some food, eat that, have an ice cream. And yeah, maybe take a walk. I don't know if I can do a walk today, but I think maybe take a walk because I'm just like, I have been chilling all day. I haven't really gotten my steps in today. So I'm like, girl, you better get your steps in. Please. I only did like 900 steps today. That's crazy work. So I probably should like take a walk, maybe go to the park a little bit and like walk around the park or something. But anyway, thank you guys for hanging with me. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day and enjoy the rest of your weekend. I will see if there's anything interesting to talk about tomorrow. Then I'll come back tomorrow. If not, then I will see you guys. Have a wonderful weekend. Thank you to everyone in the chat. Sandra Smith, Love Drunk. I really appreciate you guys for coming in and just dropping in little nuggets here and there. But yeah, thank you and see you guys later. Bye.